The year is 2016 and Pokemon Go has just been released all over the world. Funnily enough, this all actually started from an April Fool's prank, and now, 7 years on, it's become one of the biggest games in the entire world, in my opinion anyway. This game is unlike no other. It encourages you to go out into the real world and explore an adventure, and I've had so many experiences, so many adventures and so many stories with this game alone. I've been playing on and off for the last 5-6 years, mostly starting at release but then trickling off towards the end, but then really getting back into it last year. And this is just a video of appreciation of something that I love and something that I wanted to share with all of you. And just like me, this game has evolved through the years. It has gone through changes, like myself. It has learned things, it has grown, and it's always a comfortable thing to go back to wherever I am in the world, whatever time of day. It's always something I can go and enjoy. And a big part of this game is who you play it with, because that's where memories really form. Pokemon hasn't always been a major part of my life as most people think. It actually had a great impact on 2017 when a friend gifted me Pokemon Sun for Christmas, and I wasn't in a really best place at the time, and Pokemon kind of became an escape, and I have a lot of to thank for that, and to him for bringing my love of Pokemon kind of just stemming from there. But that's a story for another time. Today is a video about Pokemon Go. Okay, so you've watched the intro now, you know exactly what this video is about. It's now time to dive in to my own personal Pokemon Go account and show you the highlights of the last 5 years, some of the best things about the account and my experiences playing the game over the last 5 years. I hope you enjoy. Please leave your own stories down below, and here we go. Okay, so here we are on my account. I'm just going to go through some of the things why this game is so special to me. So here's my account. I'm currently level 39. I've got a Snorlax as a buddy that I'm working with at the moment. I've been playing this game since release in 2016, and I'm just going to basically show you just some of the things, milestones I've achieved in this account, some of my favourite Pokemon, some of my strongest Pokemon, some of my shiny Pokemon, and just stories that go with this game. You know, it's been a game that I've been playing on and off for about 5 years, and there's been a lot of amazing milestones and a lot of, hard bits as well. So, it's kind of an account that's kind of evolved over time with me as I've gone to do different things in life. But anyway, let's get into this. So, let's start with my top 6 Pokemon, my top 6 strongest. So here are my top Pokemon in my account, all different ranges of CP, from lots of different parts of the game. I want to go back to the very start though. I want to go back to the very start. So some of the oldest Pokemon I have. So the oldest Pokemon I have, I didn't actually keep my starter. So the oldest Pokemon I have is Starmie, which I've named Treasure, and as you can say, all the way back in 2016. And I've obviously kept all my 2016 to 2017, my oldest Pokemon. As we go through, I'll obviously tell you about some of the Pokemon, where they come from. For example, this one has a name OG Blastoise. So there was an event during the first year of Pokemon Go, where obviously they had regional Pokemon. Basically all it meant was if you went in a certain part of the world, you couldn't catch certain Pokemon. So in the UK, they had a special event just in Birmingham alone, where you could catch the Pokemon from Australia, and Australia, the Kangaskhan. And during that, found these Blastoise, which was comically quite small in terms of combat power, so I thought, I'll keep that. But yeah, so that's just like one little part of that story from Birmingham. We'll go through the account now. So some of obviously the older ones, Gen 1 Pokemon. My job was just to complete the Pokedex. I've never really cared about having the strongest Pokemon at all. I just wanted to catch them all, just like the tagline, you've got to catch them all. But now as we have nearly 900 Pokemon, it gets harder and harder. So that was my aim with this game, just to catch the first 151 Pokemon as they came out. One of my first 100% Pokemon, if you appraise it here, my first 100. So I've got that to Best Buddy as well now. Only recently actually I got that to Best Buddy. But it's nice to have a starter as one of 100% IV. But yeah, as we just go through the account, obviously you got the themed event Pokemon as well. And obviously here's the, this must have been when trading was first introduced. So obviously you could get the regionals and things like that, Kangaskhan, Farfetch'd, Tauros, all together. And then obviously Gen 2 started to come along, which was really interesting. I want to go over now to my 100% Pokemon, because I think people are quite interested to see, who my hundreds are. So I've got quite a lot of 98s, to be honest with you. Some really good legendaries. This one of my favourite legendaries though is from the Birmingham event again. We're doing raids in time Lugia was released, and this is about time when you appraisals weren't like this with the star system or the meters. It literally said simply amazes, and I just kept it, and obviously as the game updated I could see how close it was to a perfect Lugia. So that's one of my oldest ones, and honestly one of my favourite Pokemon, Lugia, being so strong the way it is. Incredible day in Birmingham, absolutely incredible day. But like I said, a lot of 98s here, really happy with those. Really happy with those. I've got to evolve some at some point, power them up. But this is the 100 Club. So I've only just started Best Buddy in a few of them. The Venusaur you saw earlier, the Snorlax I'm working on. But one of my absolute favourite Pokemon of all time, and being 100, was this Slacking. Sentimentally, it reminds me of someone in my family, and this was the pose that they adopted when they was watching TV, and funnily enough, it is actually my strongest Pokemon, and it was 100 as well, so yeah, really pleased with that. So Slacking will always have a very special place in my heart. It's one of my favourite Pokemon for that reason. But yeah, here's some more 100s. It's weird, I've got twin Dunsparce 100s, which is really strange. They came one after another. Stifle and Togetic, and a Togepi with a flower crown, which was hatched from an egg. So it's quite a special 100, I guess. But yeah, to be fair, I've been playing this game a long time, and I am quite lucky with the 100s, I think. I've seen, obviously, every play is different, but I'm really pleased with the small selection I have of 100s, especially like Snorlax, Venusaur, Slacking, Frostlass. This game's not about always having the strongest Pokemon, it's having some favourites, and there's quite a wide variety of favourite Pokemon in there that are actually simply 100s as well. Next, I'm probably going to go over to the Shinies, because everyone loves the Shiny, everyone cares about the Shinies. So let's have a little look at the Shinies. Obviously, shiny Pokemon, for those that don't know, are literally a rare to get, a different colour, varied colour of a Pokemon. Can't remember that one. But this is one I do remember, the Pikachu. The Pikachu is something I certainly do remember. And this is the first ever Com Day, when Com Days are a thing where shinies, just for a brief few hours of a certain day, that have high shiny rates and also have exclusive moves to them. This one, being the original shiny Pikachu, had Surf attached to it, so I'm keeping that in this account, keeping that safe. Again, got shiny Dragonite, shiny Dragonair. I did miss a few Com Days. I did do a lot of travelling around the world, which I'll get to in a moment with some of the more regional Pokemon I've got in my collection. But these are all my shinies. A lot are Com Days. We've got some special legendaries as well from raids and things like that. This was a trade actually from someone. I think the only shiny legendary I have will be a little bit later. It's nice they're doing classic com days again, so they bring back some of the older shinies from years ago back into, you know, this year, which is really cool. You know, this one kind of started the shiny look going, just wild random shinies. I think I've only hatched one shiny ever, shiny Celebi from the research. This is a special one. So we have a shiny Shadow Charmander, and my first ever and only shiny Shadow. And when I get to level 40, I'm going to evolve that all the way to a shiny Charizard. Don't worry, those of you that follow the game, I have taken frustration off it as well. The IVs weren't brilliant, but it's got the best attack it could have, and it's a shiny Charizard by the end of it, and it will look really cool. So looking forward to evolving that at some point. Just going through a bit more. Raptor, Clamperl. It was really interesting because I was trying to finish the Gen 3 Pokedex, and Horntail or Gorbis was one of the few remaining I had. And then after that, because I had to evolve that 3 to get the one I needed, shiny Clamperl came up, and I just think, oh, how ironic. How ironic. A lot of these shinies were actually caught on my sofa downstairs. I caught this shiny sofa. Me and my partner have a quite ridiculous look on the shiny sofa. Here's another one. So I went to Pokemon Worlds Championships in London last year, and one of the hardest, most sought after Pokemon was this Beefeater Pikachu, and this is its shiny version. I didn't actually get it while I was at the event. I actually got it in research the very next day afterwards. So really lucky to get such a rare shiny in my account, and it's really strong as well, so that was pretty cool. Moving on, we had com days and things like that. We've got some random shinies, you know, Bronzer and things like that. This is the only shiny legendary I can recall I've got from a raid. A friend sent me a raid invite, and I luckily got the shiny. I couldn't believe it, so thank you very much to that person out there. You know, thank you for inviting me, but I feel sorry it wasn't your shiny. But moving on now, again, this is a recent-ish shiny. I think this is the only one I've ever hatched from an egg, and it was on December Com Day as well. So this is quite cool. I don't know if I'll ever evolve it. See, with me, I'm not really one to evolve shinies so much unless I've got multiple of them. So I like keeping them as they are, to be honest with you. But no, some really cool. This one's quite a new one. You know, I didn't even know it was shiny, but this is the costume shiny Glaceon, which I had no idea, to be completely honest with you. That was just from research. Yeah, research. I started getting quite lucky with research recently. We have one of the newest ones, Darumaka, which is quite cool. And Com Day, and the newest one, which I'm really pleased for, is this Furfu. Now, you can change the form of this depending on where you are in the world. So when I get to Japan this year, I want to be changing the form of this one, and I think it's just going to look really cool. So that's my plan for this one, is to change its form to a regional place you can only get a certain form into. Moving on, I did say we're going to have a little look at some of the regional Pokemon I've got. Like I said, I did do a little bit of travelling as well a few years back with a job I used to have, and you know, I switched the game on time to time. If I was in a hotel lobby with good Wi-Fi, I'd have a look and see what was around, and these are just a bit of a collection of regionals I have. Obviously more than willing to trade people as well. Heracross is really cool, Corsola, got a few Kangaskhan, quite a few, but obviously there's always events that bring them into the UK and other places around the world eventually, so just patient, you will eventually get them. Caught quite a few Tropiuses from my travels. Again, these were from London. You've got a lucky one with traded with a partner. But yeah, so we've got quite a few regionals, which is pretty cool. So, sorry to interject, but one of my greatest achievements from Pokemon Go happened just last year. The daily incense to free Galarian birds. This Christmas, I had a very special surprise. We managed to catch Galarian Articuno off the daily incense. These are really rare to find. I'd lost it a few times, but I actually caught it this last year on Christmas Day. And little did I know, the luck would continue. So my goal before the end of the year was to catch all the Galarian birds in 2023. So we got really lucky with an early Christmas present to get that Galarian Articuno. And then a couple of weeks later, we caught this. We caught the Zapdos. I actually shut the game down, threw the ball, and opened the game back up, and a nice surprise was waiting there. It was a Galarian Zapdos. Not the most super IVs, but I really don't care. It's a Galarian Zapdos. And so I was like, right, maybe I could get the last bird before I go to Japan in April. And then it happened just a week later. Galarian Moltres. I shut the game down, I threw the ball, and bada bing, bada boom, there it was. And I couldn't believe it. Within the space of a month, I managed to capture all 3 Galarian birds. And that is no easy task. And again, I'm super proud of that achievement. Ultimately, I'm really proud of my collection, and, it's something that, I'm losing words here, but basically what I'm saying is this is a game that's evolved for me for the last 5 years and gone through a lot of changes as well. And I haven't been the most grindiest player. I've been on and off, and I do have some friends that still play this game actually, funnily enough, and really enjoying it. And it's nice to do this journey almost all over again with my partner, and going through the new events, going for raids, going for shiny days and things like that. It's just one hell of a game, and it's just amazing how far it's come, and it brings people together. We'll never have a summer like 2016 ever again where everyone was out doing the same thing. There's still communities out there, and it's lovely when you have a raid train or a group of people playing Pokemon Go together, especially in like a city area. It's absolutely amazing. There's such good vibes coming from it, and it's fun. It's the only game I can probably recall where you actually, the whole meaning is to go out there and explore, and it does make you want to explore and adventure. And I don't think we'll ever have a game so well crafted to make you want to adventure, and it's always rewarding you. It's always rewarding you. So it's a game that I'll continue to play as well for a long time after. I mean, my goal now, I've completed the Pokedex to Gen 1, and I've got one more for Gen 3, but I am holding off on one for that one. But I'll just catch as many as I can, and I just want more adventures, more Pokemon Go adventures. I am going to Japan this year. I will, I'll probably click the app on now and again just to see if there's any regionals there and things like that. But it's a game that really promotes friendship, traveling, and I love that. I really love that about this game. And you just never know what you can find. There's such an allure to going out, catching, little virtual creatures, but actually having to go out and find them as well. And everyone's account's personal. Everyone's got personal stories connected to certain Pokemon, their first shiny or their best legendary, or there's always something about it. So if you haven't tried this game before, I give it a go. Honestly, I'd give it a go. It's been quite an experience for me, and it's amazing to do it with someone else as well. Try it and see what you think. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Please like and subscribe, and have a fantastic day. Peace. So whilst editing this video, a wild Charizard spawned outside my house. I couldn't believe it. It's just one of those games that you just never know what can happen and when it can happen. I love this game so much. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. The time is now 3 o'clock on the 5th of February. It's now time for Community Day. So I'm going to go out there and catch some shinies. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave your own stories for Pokemon Go or any of your adventures down below in the comments. Please smash that like button and subscribe, and I hope to see you out there.